What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the Return of Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, Safi'jiiva theme medley. 18 minutes. This was requested by a lot of people, and most of them are platinum members, which has never happened before. We have Terry, Vanadel, Jordan, Jostar, and thegoodtwo. It's a lot of high-ranking requesters for one song. It kind of makes me nervous. So really quickly before I get started, Monster Hunter has been a very interesting game, to put it lightly, on this series, where my interest level was here, then it went up, now it's like pretty high. And let's just no expectations, but let's see. We're gonna get comfortable. 18 minutes, Safi'jiiva theme medley. This is from the video from Mr. MH on YouTube. Let's go, Safi'jiiva. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Complete medley. Strap in, boys and girls. Look at that eyeball. I may not talk much. Kind of just want to engross myself. Does it have timestamps? No. Oh, it does. Oh, but they're not in the video itself. Let's just hear it and deal with all that later. Dragon looks menacing. So loud. Feels like I'm on a roller coaster right now. I'm just like, ooh, the choir matching the strings is sick. That pace of the drum. Oh, the percussion going back to the same rhythm. Whew. This is intimidating. Seriously. One octave. I think they go up an octave. Oh, we're adding percussion. Okay, we're like in the main theme and mount section. Whatever. I feel like getting my djembe just. Only 3. It's like a cliffhanger. Man. This sounds frightening. Sounds like a metal hit. Oh, there we go. What language is this, by the way? What a great full sound this has. The way this rhythm is looping makes it feel like a really long fight, a really long, grueling, intimidating fight. Like we don't have to go anywhere else, we can just stay here. We're in the main theme plus target. We got a while to go. This thing looks like a demon from hell. Look at that. The scales, the horns, teeth. Choir is making the song for sure. Oh, it sounds really open right now. I feel like it's gonna transition soon. Yeah, that was different. It wasn't just da 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 da. There was like a overtone in the background. It kind of sounds like something is being introduced right now. I think they're shoehorning us in right now. Sounded like an elephant. Let me see where we're at. Oh, we're still in the target. The next change isn't for another minute. Yeah, see, it's getting more ambient now. Dun. can't even imagine how many people are singing right now. At least like 30. It feels like I'm on a ride. Like, this is cool. This is like a theme park ride. We're experiencing a change soon. Change. Sapphire of the Emperor. Oh, now we're more male dominant choir. Is it time for the boys? Ooh. Dude, this is crazy. Wow. This is some of the best choir I've heard in video games. I'm not even joking. This is up there. Probably a different phase now. Still cool percussion, now it's a snare. And now the rhythm are the horns. But not here. The horns are now providing the rhythmic pulse. Boom, 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 boom. Strings? It's hard to tell, there's so much noise. Other percussion is doing the snares. There's so much going on. Ooh, harder now. Oh. This is what it feels like. In my mind. That was from Coaster Studios. There's so many percussionists. One just going... I love that note. are we, by the way? Phase 3. I have it so loud in my ears, dude. I can't even hear myself right now. That is so powerful. Imagine hearing that in person. Oh. There's like a pulsating beat. Oh my god, I just noticed that. It's like a heartbeat. Listen to it carefully. It's like just punchy enough where you can feel it. Still going. I'm like drifting away. 2 minutes left. That is crazy. That harmony is nuts. I wish I knew what they were saying. Wow, dude. Let me recap what we heard. For beginning was Recon introduction, Siege introduction, main theme plus mount, main theme plus target, and then it switches to Sapphire of the Emperor. Phase 3 theme mount, target, and target. So basically two from what I got from that was like 2 big themes, give or take, together. To the point where they sounded almost seamless. Maybe it's not played exactly like that in game. Could be. This could be just like a fan mix type of thing. But for the most part, I would assume it's close to the experience as possible. I have no idea. Anyways, damn, dude. It's always the 18-minute crazy songs that feel like 2 seconds. I'm getting big vibes from the. Let me look it up before I sound stupid. Really quick, let's see how fast I can type. Monster Hunter, and then my own channel. It's weird typing my own channel and then I get recommended. Disifuroa. I'm getting that same sort of feeling I got from Disifuroa. Hopefully I'm saying that right too. Where like the monster, dragon, whatever sounds extremely difficult, intimidating, huge. I'm seeing this picture here, and I mean, I'm just standing next to that rock behind it. It's gigantic. So I'm getting that whole same, like, holy crap, what are we about to do right now type of feel. But this one seemed very... just on the theming alone, and just the amount of, like, the aesthetic of Safi, I get a lot of hell. Now, maybe not necessarily like hell symbolisms, but fire, of course, and maybe underworld type stuff. But not only that, it's just like the music, like the whole pulsating feel of it just made it sound like just a bad time in general. But what I noticed about this one, in both, let's just, even though there was a lot of music there, I'm gonna pretty much chop it in half from the first half to the second half from a noob standpoint. Both sections had one consistent thing, and that was percussion, where it didn't change. It wasn't really like ever diversifying too much besides a little dun 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 dun. It was always just this constant, this pace, this very like something's chasing you type of pace. And the second one had its own pace with the snares now. And now I think we're strings. We're also holding the pace with a little doom, 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 doom. So there's a whole attention to like pulsating rhythms and this kind of fear-inducing enigma. So I got that from both. It was very consistent in both halves, I guess. What else did I write here? This is a whole crap load of stuff I wrote down. Very intimidating. I don't know if I said that. Very intimidating. This thing, like I'm imagining, this is a game after all. I'm imagining whenever this comes to be, and just the sheer amount of whoa, and not only intimidating in a fearful way, but like taking it all. And then like, I feel like when you hear songs like this, at that point you're like, damn dude, this game is great. I'm a longtime fan now. You know, those kind of turning moments, those like, well, I'm a Monster Hunter fan. You know, I feel like it's that big, what the hell is this type of stuff, you know? That's what I get from it. That's what I mean by intimidating. It's like a kind of beyond the game type of thing. And one more thing to go along with the rhythm is that it sounds very much like, based on the rhythm, even though it's quick, for the most part the song is pretty quick in feel. I feel like songs like this go really well with like a very slow moving character. So I'm not sure if he's all over the place, zippity doo dah and flying, but to me, based on the music, it sounds like he'd just be like a menacing like crawl and uses his size to do the work, not necessarily like all these antics. So when I hear those percussions, I'm hearing like, you know, like him coming at you, like just gigantic, over the top, bigger than life type of thing. Very slow walk rhythm, even though it's a pretty fast percussion. So the thing on, I'm not sure what this whole Sapphire thing is. This Sapphire of the Emperor, I'm not sure what that is. but this is what it was called in that second half, I guess. Let's talk about the overall choir. I think I used to think this before. I just never said anything. I guess I'll say it now. After hearing now almost 1,000 songs on this channel, we're pretty close. There's still a lot I haven't heard, but there's a lot I've heard now from all types of games, from different eras, different whatever, composers, studios, whatever. And just from what I've heard, I don't know if I believe this or if it's just like the honeymoon phase of just hearing that, but I think Monster Hunter has some of the best choir sections in gaming. Now, there's a lot of them that do it, and they're all pretty much good, because in order to get that sort of sound, you need to hire talented people. But consistently, in like the songs, it seems that Monster Hunter's got it down. I can think of some soundtracks that have some choir stuff, but it's not like all over the place. First things that comes to mind would be like Final Fantasy 15, that has a lot of choir sound, but it's not like the main focus. There's other songs that don't have it. There's that one song from Skyrim I heard, which is really good, but I don't know how the rest of the songs are. I've only heard one song. FromSoft games have it too. It's really impressive there. But I feel like in Monster Hunter, it's like part of the sound, and it's not ignored. It's, the choirs are doing melodies with the strings. It's not just, it's in there. And it's really impressive, the harmonies, the notes that are being projected. The first half of that sounded very female dominant. You could still hear both, but you could hear mostly the higher end notes. And then in the second half, the Sapphire onwards, it sounded more male dominant. But there were still like little oohs and ahs from the female side too. But either way, big attention to the choir. It's super impressive, and that alone is intimidating. And I'm saying that as a musician. Like, I don't know if anyone has been to a concert or even a show, like anything close to an orchestra or something like that, but you can just imagine how loud and how you would feel yourself vibrate from hearing that. I don't know if Monster Hunter does live shows. Not very many games do it. I know Nier does. I know Final Fantasy does it. But if there was ever a moment that Monster Hunter does a tour, I would be going. And I think many people would probably agree with me on that. That would be a really sick show to see. So, if you're watching this out there and you're a conductor, Monster Hunter tour. Super impressive. Some of the most intense choirs I can recall. So, that's something. And there was two things more. In the second half, there was this, it was hard to hear, but it was during the chorus sections. I was hearing like a pulsating heartbeat. It was just really like a kick drum, just going. But if you have to kind of like, this is what I do. I mean, this is kind of what people have like known me for, is like I hear all these things that you may have not heard because I'm listening to everything. But I hear that. It's like you have to, the only way I can describe it is if you know those old school pictures where you have to like focus and then you see through the picture. It's kind of like that with this. When you're hearing it, you have to sort of unfocus your ears and kind of see through like the bottom of it. And you can hear this very like, again, intimidating like, which sounds kind of in line to what's happening here. If it's like this late into the song, your heart's racing and it's pretty elevated heartbeat. But I don't know if it was intentional though. I just think it just happens to work out. Because to me it sounds like just a kick drum doing a random, or doing its typical beat, but it just happens to like kind of sync in with that. Let me know if you hear it. It's kind of hard to hear, but you have to just, I think I made like some hand gestures to where it is, so that'll help you. And the last thing, of course, is this whole song was just an action-packed thing. There was never any like rest. Not that there should be, but you know, sometimes there's movements and some little ahs and oohs, but the whole thing was just dot 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 dot. So again, making me think this is a pretty extremely hard boss, or at least very significant late game type of thing. He doesn't look happy. He or she looks very angry, and yeah, the music goes with that. It just seemed like it's meant to be menacing and chaotic evil the whole time. Straight darkness vibes. So that's what I got. Consistent throughout the whole thing. Drums not changing was a really cool touch because even though the drums are consistent with this kind of warlike rhythm, there's melodies around it changing constantly, but you still feel that like lingering like chase behind you. That's what I meant by that. So the Monster Hunter Redemption arc, as people have been calling it, is still going. Remember, I used to kind of not care for this series, not because it was bad. It's just you have to understand that I listen to video game music totally blind, not playing these games, usually not having footage. I get pictures, and hearing this stuff at first was very like, okay, cool. I mean, yeah, that sounds really great, but I have no idea what's going on. And this music, although it is great, and I still stand by it a little bit, it is great on its own. Even though I've only heard it on its own, I now have a little more open mind because I've been playing games since, and I can understand it a little bit better. Like, oh, imagine hearing this, you know, here at X spot, and like that feeling you must get. So all I could do is kind of emulate the feeling of when it would play and just imagine myself in that scenario. So I still think, well, I'm positive hearing it in game, which I've never done, would be fantastic. That's what I meant by, like, at first I didn't really care for it because I just didn't really. I knew it was impressive and obviously it was talented stuff. I just couldn't relate. I couldn't put myself there. I just saw big scary monster, loud music. So it's a lot of using my imagination and opening my mind up to, you know, why someone would want to request this, so that, you know, the feeling it gave them and the attachment to that. So yap, whatever. Monster Hunter's sick. But seriously though, let me know. I have one question only. Well, first I have two questions. One, what did you think of this fight? And let me know if I was wrong or correct on any of the things I said. But also, your opinion on the choir section. Are there some better choirs out there? Is this the best in your opinion? No bias, of course. But I just feel like from everything I've heard, Monster Hunter has a distinct choir sound, and it's very much a part of the OST. And I think it's some of the best. So, thank you, Terry, thegoodtwo, Vanadel, and Jordan for that. Thanks to everyone that you see here. You, of course, Monster Hunter fans, are still Monster Hunter songs. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Safi'jiiva theme medley.